So here's Logic, the software I was telling you about. Here in Logic, I have organized and color-coded all of the different instruments and vocal tracks so I can get around more easily. I always use these colors for these tracks. And on the left, you see you get to manipulate sounds, or at least that's how I would explain it. As you can see, I have severely manipulated my vocals. And in the middle is where your song lives, this part, this pool right here. The first demo for this song I wrote in the piano. I write different songs on different instruments depending on where I am and what I have in my hands. Some of them I write in the ukulele, some on the guitar, some just exist in my mind. So this one I wrote in the piano, and at the beginning it was something like this. And I know I could ignore your calls. And after having recorded the demo as a vocalist, it came natural to me to record backing vocals, and there they are, a choir made by myself and I only. Let me show you what that's like. I got all these faces on my wall, but as you can see, I recorded like a lot of them, so they would sound like a girl choir that's all around the main vocal. I don't play the drums. I have tried. I'm not very good at this. So I always use alternative methods because it's very tricky for me to come up with drum patterns. So for example, here, let me show you. That's funny. I did this. I am using my own breathing as a rhythm element, and honestly, I love doing that. I have done it on many songs before Polaroid, and I am for sure going to keep doing it because it just adds so much soul into the song. And now it's time for the best part. I'm about to introduce you to this little guy right here, my Polaroid. I will put this old film tray inside that I filled with already developed pictures to show you what I did. So let me just load it. This is a protective light shield for the film, but let's put that aside. Did you hear the sound the camera just made? Listen again. And this one too. As a Polaroid fan, I find these sounds very satisfying, so I recorded all of them. Let me show the other sounds I recorded. I recorded the shutter, the timer, the exposure, the sound of opening and closing this thing. And I was lucky enough that this pitch was, to begin with, in tune with my song. Let me show you. These are just the Polaroid samples. So with a little bit of editing, they turn into my own mechanical drum set. And this is the perfect example of that phrase people use when they say, the sky is the limit. Because you can actually make music without even having a musical instrument if you really, really put your mind into it. For example, I'm sure that each and every one of you can easily make a beat, just using the tools you have on your study desk, like pens, pencils, sharpeners, rulers, trust me. And I'll go one step further into challenging you to do that, and I would be more than happy to look at your results. And finally, although I love the Polaroid sounds, I needed to add real drums alongside the Polaroid ones, and that left is here. You get it. We finally have the rhythm that is moving the whole song forward. And now the Polaroid samples are just adding quirkiness to the song without being too out of place or too annoying. And let me show you, that actually leaves us with a full on ready song. In my mind, and I know I could ignore your call. And after all that, my song was finished, published, and ready to be listened to. There is one only thing I would like to advise musicians and people that are getting into music, and that's just don't be scared into experimenting, trying new things, and sharing what you've done with the world. Because it was one of the scariest things for me to make this song public for the people. So just don't be scared to do that. Nothing is going to go terribly wrong if you do it. Just go for it.